Morning, everyone. I'm just getting to work. Here it is, 11:30. I'm just getting started. Boy, that's a pretty lax schedule, but you know, when you're retired, you work on your own hours. Yeah, I have done a little bit this morning already, but it was on other sticks than the monster stick. Primarily today, I'm going to get started on the monster stick and see how much progress I can make. I may reveal my plan today. I'll see how far I'm going to get on it, and if I get far enough to where I show you what it'll actually look like, then I'll show it to you. To start off this morning, I'm going to be working with the Wen rotary tool, so it'll be noisy and the vacuum system will be on, so you won't be able to hear me. But so I'll probably have to bring you back a little bit later and show you what I've done. So stay tuned. Okay, just to prove that I've been doing something, I wanted to show you where I'm at right now. I've used a burr and I've completely undercut along the full length of the raised portion of this stick. And I'm starting to round off the corners of the raised portion. And I'm doing this just with hand sanding with, I'm using 60 grit sandpaper right now. And I'm going to start smoothing this and rounding it and forming it into this, down into this groove. And I suppose that now I can probably reveal what it might look like when it's done, because I can't keep this upper portion covered up all the time. So here's your first look at it. Now, and I guess that's all I'll show you. You can make a decision in your own view of what this may turn out to be. And I'll let you watch me sand for a little bit here, just to prove that I'm doing it by hand. This is pretty exciting, isn't it? I actually sand like this for quite a bit, and eventually my fingers get numb. I have to stop and let them relax. I've got arthritis in my hand. That doesn't help a whole lot. I could use the rotary tool on this if I wanted to, but I think I want a more natural flow to it, and I don't know that you can get that with using a mechanical tool. So the sanding wheel is just too rigid. You can end up with divots and stuff like that, whereas my hand has give to it, and the sanding more follows the contour of the wood. So I'm going to grab another piece of sandpaper here. I generally work with this size piece of paper, which, let's see, if I fold a sheet in half, cut it, fold a half in half, cut it, and then fold the quarter in half and cut it, I end up with one of these. So I get quite a few pieces out of a sheet of sandpaper, and then I fold these pieces in half, and then I work with both sides as I go until it's worn out. And sometimes I wear gloves and sometimes I don't, but boy, it sure takes a toll on my fingertips at times. Reminds me of those old movies where the bank robber would file down his fingerprints to, one, hide his fingerprints, and two, to give his hand a more sensitive touch when he was opening the safe that he wasn't supposed to be opening. Now, as I sand this raised part down, it's going to lose all of its bark, and it'll become as blonde as the rest of the stick. And but I have a plan to bring back color to the raised part. It's going to be quite a process. I'm actually anticipating that it'll probably be a good 10 days before I'm actually done with this stick. Another 10 days, not 10 days total. We're 7 days into the stick now. I have fudged and worked on a couple of the sticks I showed you in the Christmas to New Year's Day project of getting a bunch of sticks finished, and they were all ready for varnish, but it was too cold and it's starting to warm up around here. So I've put a first coat of varnish on a couple of them as a test, and they have been this morning they got their first 400 grit sanding on the first layer of varnish. And if it warms up enough this afternoon when I'm done working on this monster stick, I will get another coat of varnish on those sticks. I always put 3 coats, and I sand the first and second coat with the 400 grit paper, and it helps that final coat be really glassy and smooth. I have on occasion sanded the final coat as well with 400 grit, and then gone back over it with polishing compound. That's kind of a time-consuming process, but it will really finish a stick. It's just, I don't know, almost like glass. It has depth to the finish and shine both, so it's pretty nice. Anyway, you see what I'm going to be doing for the next several hours. So I'm going to shut off the camera now, and I'll bring you back later when I'm kind of can show that I've actually gained some ground on this. Zoomed in here a little bit so you can get a little bit closer view of what I'm doing. I didn't realize on that previous one I was zoomed so far out, so hopefully this will show up a little better. Doesn't make it any more exciting though, so you won't see this for a long period of time here. I'm going to shut that camera down and let you go do something else. I'll bring you back later. Good evening, everyone. Had some camera issues earlier today, so didn't get a lot videoed out at the out in the shop. But here's what the monster stick looks like now. I've begun, sanding out and really starting to let the, you guessed it, snake start to take shape. I did a undercut along the head and body of the snake to give the body more depth and more shape. I'm still working on blending that undercut in. I'll be spending quite a bit of time on that tomorrow. I did that undercut the full length. You can see it there, around there. And places you can see where it's starting to blend in. The burr that I used left a pretty rough cut. Next time I do that, I'm going to have to use a different burr. It takes a lot of work to get that smoothed out and blended in, but the undercut goes the full length all the way down to the bottom of the stick. So that's where it's at, and yes, it is going to be a snake. I thought about making it into a spoon, but then that didn't make any sense at all. So now you know what I'm up to. Sometime in the next couple, 3 days, I'll start using the rotary tool to carve in the details on the snake. Eyes, nose, mouth, ears, tail, scales. It's going to be pretty tedious work, but it'll be worth it in the end if it turns out. Well, that's all for today. I'll get back with you tomorrow and show you the progress I made tomorrow. Have a good evening. Morning, everyone. Just getting starting on January 8th, day 8 on the Monster Stick. We'll be doing quite a bit today, I hope, as time permits. It's currently about 5 minutes after 10, so not too late of a start here in the shop, although I did have to run for some supplies this morning. More 60 grit sandpaper, more Varathane for when I get ready to varnish, and a couple of new Dremel bits. This is a Diamond Point 7134, pretty fine tip, and then also a number 106 engraving cutter. I guess you can never have enough Dremel bits, or burrs. I'll add them to my collection, and I'm going to stop the camera now and get set up and start working, and I'll bring you back in just a little bit. When I do one of these, I'm going to make the snake's body a little bit wider. This is the first snake I've done, so it's kind of a live and learn. I thought when I started I was making the body wide enough, but as I carved away material, it just kept getting thinner and thinner. So he's an undernourished snake. Besides blending in the groove around the snake, I'm also working a little bit on rounding off the top edge, and I'll be doing that on both sides as I blend in the groove. You saw that can of Varathane that I purchased this morning. I have been using that. It's the oil-based Varathane Ultimate Polyurethane and the high gloss finish. And I've always liked the way it gives the sticks a nice shiny gloss finish. Now obviously this one, because it's a snake, well, I may do something different, at least over the portion that is the snake. But I've been having a problem with only getting about halfway through a can of the varnish, or the polyurethane, before it starts to thicken up and almost turn to a jelly consistency. So I've always used this clean strip paint thinner, and it can be used for thinning oil-based Varathanes. So I'm going to try thinning out a couple of the cans and see if that makes the rest of the can usable. I'm a little bit nervous about doing that, because if I thin it out and try it doesn't work, then I'm liable to have to sand the whole stick again. Maybe I'll try it on a sample piece. Probably the best way to do it. So anyway, I'm gonna shut the camera off now and sand for a while, and I'll bring you back later. I never know how well this is focused, so I'm taking a chance here. I've worked on the groove that I cut around the base of the snake's body and head and blended it in to the body as I go down. I've done that all the way down on one side. There's a few little areas I need to touch up just a little bit, but it's starting to make the body of the snake look a little bit more like a snake. It's 12 o'clock now, so I'm going to take a lunch break. And y'all can take one too if you want. I'll come back out and start sanding down the other side. It was almost 2 straight hours of sanding to get to this point, but I think it was worth it for the way it's turned out. Wow, well, you look at the time, nearly 3 o'clock. I started at 10. I took a half an hour for lunch, so I've been at it for pretty much 4.5 hours, and I'm tired. And I know enough to quit working on the monster stick when I'm tired because I don't want to make mistakes. So I'll show you what I've done here, just to prove that I have done something in that 4.5 hours of work. Okay, here's the stick. Now, I had cut the groove down both sides of the body of the snake, full length, around the head, on both sides. And today I've been blending that groove into the body and back into the stick. And this was to give more dimension to the snake's body and to the snake's head. So I've done most of the blending, but like I said, I'm tired. I still have some divots left to sand out. I don't know if you can see those. They should actually show up, they focus or not. But I will have to finish that tomorrow. I also did a little sanding, just general sanding on the stick to smooth it out and get it ready for when I start doing the final detail on it. And oh yeah, do you notice anything? Does that look like a fresh cut? I made the stick 2 inches shorter. It was just too long. Even for somebody taller, it may even still be too long, but I can probably get away with taking off maybe another inch, but that'll be it. The bottom of the snake's tail is going to be right about here. So you don't want it down too close to the foot. But I'll take it in and weigh it and come back out and let you know how much it weighs. And then that'll be it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Well, I said I would weigh the stick, and we're at 2 pounds 9 ounces now. Which makes me fairly happy. I wanted to definitely get it below 3 pounds. I think before it's all said and done, it'll lose another ounce or so. Anyway, that's what she's looking like right now. I'm gonna put this bit of video in the file and get it posted tonight, so you'll be seeing it in a little bit.